Hello my friends, Chris here from Cards.n.Colors. It's been a while since I made my last video. I think it was almost a year, and well, sometimes life just happens, and there was a lot of stuff going on, and not much space or time to do tarot reviews and walkthroughs and stuff. And well, here I am, new year, new space, new time, and we will start the tarot year with the stunning Tarot de Ambiguites, I guess might be the right spelling, from Artisan Tarot. And it's a deck done by Alejandro Brozan, and Stephen Bright is also involved. He's writing or has written the accompanying book that will come out soon, I think. And I pre-ordered this deck from Artisan Tarot. Comes in a lovely tuck box. One of those tuck boxes where you can see this here, so you cannot easily damage the box, which is nice. So all the cards here, they come with this lovely historical back. The cardstock is a linen finish. Not sure if the camera, yes, you can see it here. Here you go, here the border. So linen texture, like, I don't know, casino quality in a way. They are a bit slidey, very slidey indeed, but that's fine. And this deck is, well, not really a reproduction of an historical deck, but more of a reimagination of an historical deck, or as I once put it in an Instagram comment, like an abomination of a secret Marseille that was hidden for hundreds of years, and now it surfaced again after all those years, and here we are. Yes, as mentioned before, I pre-ordered this deck because when I saw the first cards, the first trump cards, I was totally intrigued and thought, oh, I have to get this deck. It's beautiful, it's lovely. So here we are with the beautiful Fool. And as you can already see, on many of the cards, the person, people, things on the cards have swapped or changed. So for example here with Le Mat, the Fool, the somewhat cat dog thingy we always see with the Fool now has become in a way the Fool. And our Fool, our jester here, is the one trying to hold back or warn the beast, the animal. Almost looking like a friendly werewolf in a way. Le Bateleur, the magician. Here we see 3 legs and 3 arms, and your classical stuff going on, knives and dice and so on the table. But there's also a heart here and a hidden dagger in a way, and he doesn't look quite nice. And what I love is the coloration feels very historical, just the primary colors, red, blue, yellow, green and stuff, and this grayish color in a way. Muted color, aged colors, also the backgrounds of the cards look aged, tea-stained and stuff, but it's not the same on each of the cards, so it's not just a background that repeats and repeats. No, there are individual stains on each of the cards, which is lovely. And You get, of course, the woodblock aesthetics, but all the cards are hand drawn by Alejandro. They were hand drawn and then colored, and still they provide this woodblocky feel. The High Priestess here, or the Papess, with a radiant halo, and you can see her foot and some animal creature here. The Empress, you can see her feet too, standing in a field of roses, and her staff, her scepter, is very floral, very feminine. The Emperor, the eagle from his shield has become a living eagle, and there's the sun at his solar plexus, radiating authority. The Hierophant's quite nice. We see the two disciples here representing the sun and the moon, day and night, and the Pope himself. He has some antlers like the devil, so it's more kind of a pagan feel here. The Lovers, Cupid without wings, but then the two ladies we always see with the lover, they have wings, and our lover in the middle is naked. And what I also like here is that even the names of the trumps and all the cards still look very ancient. There is, instead of the U, we have a V, for example. The Chariot here, quite traditional. Marseille type 1 canopy going on here. And the sun and the moon on his shoulders. Justice. And I have to say, many of the cards feature elements from different historical decks and Marseille decks, which is quite nice. And he always stays true, Alejandro, who did the deck, always stays true to the Marseille tradition, the codex in a way of the Marseille. We will see that when we get to card number 13, the death card or the nameless card. So here, for example, in the Justice card, I find it quite clever and smart that the sword Justice is holding is not your regular sword, but one of the curved scimitars from the miners, and her third eye is open while her physical eyes are closed. And then here you see the heart weighed against the head and heart, thinking and feeling, trying to get these into balance. The Hermit, quite interesting. So he's holding his own head, and in the place of the head there's the lantern, the light. Wheel of Fortune, again with the curved sword and the heart, and the coin here, and then feet. And when we get to the minors, you will see that the colors, the suits have changed. Coins have become heads. Swords are still swords, but with hands. Batons or wands are still wands, but with legs. And the cups have become hearts, which makes sense. And you can see all the different elements and emblems here. La Force, strength, fortitude. Again, switching. The heads. Now this really looks like a werewolf in a way. And this now looks like a sphinx. Le Pendu, the hanged man, with a flower growing out of his groins. So here we have the nameless card or death card, and you can see there's a lot of floral stuff going on, a lot of growth and new life and greenery growing out of the death, which fits with the message of the card, the symbolism of death. But all the flowers used here are from the Marseille tradition, like you would find the foliage in the minor cards. Temperance, making a lemniscate swirl like that, and again covered. The Devil, Le Diable, quite interesting, an ancient kind of devil with the face on the belly and face on his knees. Definitely a hermaphrodite, as we can see here. And the two imps are the ones who are ruling the demon, the devil, in a way. So again, positions have switched here. The tower looks quite towery, though there is a human face breathing maybe fire into the tower or onto the tower. And the two people falling down, they each have wings, but here we have bat wings, like demonic, devilishy wings, and here we have feathers like angel wings. Quite interesting. And the whole tower here, we can see flames going on. The star looks a bit creepy. The biggest star in the place of the head of the star maiden, the star lady, and her head in the water, looking at herself. I find it quite interesting that the two liquids in a way resemble gold and silver. Again, duality, alchemy. A very gorgeous moon card, because there was a post on Instagram from Alejandro where he explained excuse me, where he explained some of the charms. And so here we have the moon goddess, the lady of the moon, a personification of the moon as a woman standing in the water. The dogs have fish tails, like mer dogs. Here we get the lobster, a crayfish, and the two towers, of course. So this is, in a way, the great goddess, the moon goddess. And here in the sun card, we get the twins that we normally see, or the two children. Then the sun with a beard and riding a horse. And this is not just in the Rider-Waite that we see, well, a baby on a horse, but here it's the sun himself. And there are also historical decks featuring a horse on the sun card. Judgment, face, no angel with no face, face with no angel. Blowing the trumpet, and you can see all the eyes here. So this is really some kind of biblical, apocalyptic vision of an angel with a lot of wings, with hundreds of eyes and stuff. And then last but not least, Le Monde, the world. Again, the four figures are not the animals, but people holding the traditional emblems like cup, sword, coin, wand or baton. And then the four living creatures are part of the middle figure, which is quite interesting. Red and green, again, polarity here. Inside of the mandala, and we get the eagle, the human or angel, the bull, and the lion, of course. Very, very interesting. And again, though this is a, well, reinterpretation, a new way of depicting things, when you just look at this card at a glance, you could think that this really is a historical deck. That this might be the only thing that survived from another tradition or another lineage, maybe a secret hidden lineage of Marseille decks. Fascinating. So then we come into the minors, cards gliding all over the place. So as mentioned before, the swords are arms or hands, but we get all the traditional symbols here, like the crown of course, and then swords with hands. There's just one thing that I don't particularly like about this depiction, and it's usually you get two curved scimitars or swords, and if you lay them side by side, you get a full circle, which you don't with the hands here. It makes sense that the sword ends with the hand grabbing the other sword. I get that. So it would be strange if, well, it would have been possible to make this even longer here with a hand in the corner, but it is what it is. And that's not a no-go for me personally to say. The swords don't make perfect circles, I can't use this deck. And here, for example, the 5 of swords, and of course 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hands, and that's on each and every card. Whew, destroying my flower here. 7, 8, 9, and then 10 with the 2 swords. The Page of Swords is quite interesting. Here scratching his head, lovely, and then some kind of flowers coming out of the shaft. The Knight, lovely, with this not winged, curved scimitar, and the horse is a unicorn. The Queen, again with floral stuff, and the King. Wands have become legs or feet, as you can see here. So the depictions themselves follow the Marseille tradition, but then you get the additional legs here: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the page holding a wand, leg, foot. The Knight, the Queen, I quite like her, with her very fiery hair intertwined with this very, very big, in a way, phallic wand. Now for cups or hearts in this deck, but of course cups being associated with emotions, feelings, it quite fits that there are hearts here. Not your playing card hearts, but physical anatomical hearts. The 2 of hearts, and here Alejandro on the 2 of cups, of course. The 3, the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The lovely Page with a heart in his cup, bleeding. The Knight following his heart, literally. And the horse here has a fish tail, so it's a seahorse, a mer horse. I like that. The Queen, I like the addition of the heart here, the illuminated, radiating heart. And the King. And then for the coins we get heads, severed heads. 2 with the band going on, of course. 3, and it's quite fascinating because there are different heads and faces on each of the cards, so it's not the same head repeated again and again and again. And there was an online lecture with Alejandro, Zoom or something. I just rewatched the recorded session, and he said that the heads chosen or the faces chosen for each of the coin cards are not accidental. So maybe these are the Empress and the Emperor, I would say, coming together here. And there are roses. The 4, the 5. Here, for example, you get the Fool from the Vierville. I'm not sure about that. And an Emperor. And a Devil. And maybe a Hermit card. I'm not exactly sure. 6. These are definitely court cards here. 7, 8, 9 with a Sun card in the middle. I like that. 10. And then you get your valet or page with the writing on the side of the card, holding one up and one in the ground. And there's growth coming out of the head in the ground. The Knight. The Queen. And lastly, the King. So there you have it. It is really an interesting, fascinating deck. I wouldn't recommend this deck for beginners because, yeah, it breaks with your Marseille tradition. If you feel drawn to this deck, of course, there is no right or wrong in studying tarot and reading tarot and being interested in tarot. Go for it. Maybe just as a curiosity, as something special in your collection. I will definitely try reading with this deck. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to doing so, and see you all again with the next video. Hope you're doing well, and see you soon. Bye.